And this isn't a never-ending process. We focus on the mindset, we up-level that, and then we got to focus on the skill set, up-level that, and then we focus on the systems in order to support that as we're going through our growth. We got Germany and New Jersey and Massachusetts and Ohio and more Massachusetts. Sounds like we attract a lot of Massachusetts people. Fort Lauderdale and Indiana and Colorado, Iowa, British Columbia, more Canadians. Welcome. You got Texas and Carlisle, PI. We got people all around the country. This is absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to spend the day with you guys.
First, just some housekeeping, guys. I always say this at events, but it's even more important for virtual events, right? And that is to just be here today. Our paydays as of about a month ago hit a new high. I've been screaming for years about an average in the community of like 45 grand to 250,000, all three paydays. Well, we just hit 350 on one of the cash outs. So it's important that you're here and you're not missing little nuggets, because that's what it could cost you. That's pretty serious, right? I don't care if you're talking 45, they're very low in the community. Just be here, close out all the screens so you can laser focus. I think Zach alluded to it. We're going to go 50 minutes, 10-minute break, 50 minutes, 10-minute break, and it's going to be intense. Your next speaker is absolutely just world known and absolutely amazing. So again, you don't want to miss any piece of this. Disclosure, not only do we go quickly in New England, but we also are very open communication. We want the best for you guys. One of our values is clear and blunt and to the point, no gray area. Well, it just means we don't candy coat stuff. I don't think you guys are here for the milk and cookies. I don't think you're here to just hang out. We want to get down to some serious stuff here and set you guys off on a really, really good path by Friday midday. And we work with the serious and committed. It's something magical happens when we commit, right? Versus just teetering. We're going to give you throughout the day, I'll call them invitations, throughout the 3 days, invitations to sort of step up or take action. And this is super important that we do this together. Let's talk about commitment. And last housekeeping item that I'll hit you guys on is, I hear every event, and so I have to bring this up every event, and people talk about, hey, your program. I heard about your program. This isn't a program, guys. You're going to hear today that like literally lives get changed if you step forward. So this is about a lifestyle. It's not about a program at all. And so I have a few thoughts for you here before we kick off. One is, I've been talking about the media since COVID, but I'll bring it up again in light of the current market. When the masses are going in one direction, I would encourage you always to go in the opposite direction. In 2013, my wife Kim reminds me of this all the time. Everyone told me, do not buy, you're crazy to buy. The media was screaming because the market was still wonky. And I will tell you that those naysayers, because you're going to hit them, right? You're going to hit them just like I hit them. Those naysayers, as well as the general media, they don't know creative real estate. The last I checked, they weren't certified by the Creative Financing Real Estate Association. They weren't, right? So you're in a unique niche and you're in a unique situation where you have the opportunity to be certified. And by the way, that might be foreign to some of you guys. I should say this. There's a lot of guests on here. You can become certified by the Creative Financing Real Estate Association, SFREA, by going through our home study course. If you haven't done that yet, I should probably ask Zach, let's just take a little pause here. Type in the chat, you guys, so we know who's who, we know what we have to cover for basics, or if we can dive into some higher end stuff. How many of you just say yes if you have QLS home study, or no if you don't? If you don't, we're going to hit some basics here and make sure we lay a foundation. And there's a lot of vernacular. I'm watching the yeses and a lot of yeses. If type in no, please, if you don't. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so Zach, that'll give us an idea. Maybe it looks like we touch upon some basics in a few seconds here. For those of you that have been around, guess what? Until you're doing a deal or more per month, then the basics are great, right? So we're going to hit those this morning, it looks like. Let me jump back to my thoughts. So people have been doing creative real estate, let's go back to that thought, since 1600s, literally 1600s, before banking. And it's interesting when you have the media screaming like they do all the time, because that's what gets results and that's what gets ratings. It's interesting to know that the stock market and real estate, when they go down or they're anticipated going down, things are sort of on sale. And it's the only two industries where when things go on sale, people panic, right? So I just want to get your mind thinking that you just got to know how to operate and pivot, like in 2013 for me, but like in COVID for our whole Wicked Smart community. There's 400, I don't know what the number is now. There's a lot of deals on our YouTube channel, Deal Structure Sunday. And all you need to do is go in there and get real good at that and get real good at knowing how to pivot on each deal. And watch our deals today, watch our deals tomorrow. We're gonna show you how to pivot. The Wicked Smart community is doing deals. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna share some numbers with you. The metrics, I'm sure, are gonna get your attention in a big way. Type in the chat again, guys. If you have, currently you're in a W-2. You're not 100% in the entrepreneurial or solopreneur or your own business mode. Type in the chat if you have a W-2. Boatload. Okay.
Like almost everyone.
Okay.
Or at least anyone
Right.
that's willing to admit that they're not an entrepreneur yet.
All right, so I'm going to say something that I said to 2 High Six members when they came in. I'm going to make sure everybody hears this if you haven't yet. And that is, I hope you realize, and this is not a shot at you if you just type that, but I hope you realize that that is the risk. Your job is the risk. I know Judy's on here, John's on here. Actually, both John Hoops and John Clark. All their companies, I heard them say to me in the last 6 months, Judy's most recently, all their companies have massive layoffs, massive layoffs. That's your risk. Your job is your risk, not entrepreneurial, not your entrepreneurial journey, not at all. I'd ask you to think about this, and I'll give you some quick stats and we'll pivot here. I always want you to do a gut check when you're at an event with us. So wherever you are right now, is it where you thought you'd be? Only you know that answer. You don't have to type it. And are you okay if it's in 10 years, you're at the same spot? And again, it's just a gut check. It's good for us all to do this. Again, it's not shooting an arrow at any one of you. Think about that. And if your answer is no, I wouldn't be good with that, then let's get after it today. And that's what I talked about earlier when I said commitment. And don't beat yourself up, because when you look in the mirror and you start to beat yourself up, just know that behind that mirror, that imaginary wall there, thousands of families in your area that you can help. And when you start attaching the 3 paydays to even 1 or 2 of those a year, it can and will change your life. And you look at United States businesses right now, pull the stat anytime you want on Google, but the number I checked this week was about a little less than 8% of businesses in the entire United States hit $1 million in revenue yearly. Can you imagine that? And we can show you how to go out and do that like in 10 or 15 deals, depending on your market. I don't know your sales price, but just generally speaking. So the only thing stopping you is you, and typically it's your mindset, right? And Zach's gonna go over a couple things with you here in a minute, but I want to get your head wrapped around mindset for 1 second, and then we'll talk about our genius model. Because the belief part of this is the issue. If you look up the definition of belief, it's all like touchy-feely, gray area words. Like it's a feeling of certainty about something. It's what we think we can do or can't do. It's what we consider possible. Like they're all just kind of vague, right? There's nothing in there about your capability. Nothing. You're capable. Every single person here is capable. Every single person in here could learn the deal, the skill sets of the deals. It's just your belief about you. And how do I know that? Because I went through it from 8 to 12, from 2008 crash till 12. It was just in a whirlwind. And not until I got my head out of that, out of the sand in 13, that I realized, well, that was all me. It had nothing to do with anything else. It had nothing to do with my capability deep down. It was just all mindset. And we've done a whole bunch in this community to improve that, and want to help you in these like 2.25 days here, kind of crush any of those beliefs and raise up some new ones. And I know the pace is different for everyone. So we have what we call a genius model. Zach, you can pull it up and maybe give them a summary of that. We can't do all of this today, guys, and tomorrow and the next day, but I want you to see what we teach by, what our model is, what we call the genius model. You got that handy,
Hey,
Zach?
can you pull that up for us?
So while that's coming up, these are the 3 pillars we teach from, where you're going to see offshoots of every single one of them. So there's a lot to uncover here. And this is why it takes some people 30 days to do a deal, and some people 15 or 18 or 24 months for their first deal. But then the breakthrough happened. And you're going to see why when we show this, if it arrives here for us.
Or it will. While it's being pulled up, I just have some thoughts. Just because I was literally just at an event last night. And as recent as last night, somebody came up to me. I was speaking at an event in Massachusetts, and somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, it's extremely surprising to hear that you've been doing creative financing deals for over 10 years in this market, because what I've been told is that you can't do creative financing deals in this market. You can only do creative financing deals out west." I said, "You want to know why that's the truth? Or why people believe that to be the truth?" And that's because all of the major influencers in creative financing are in those areas. It's not because these things can't get done. It's because they just happen to be in Arizona or Texas or California or in the Midwest. we're one of the select group of people that decided I don't really care if people think we can do these deals in the space, because I literally showed them, I'm like, we've done hundreds of these deals right in your backyard. And the difference is that we believe we can do it consistently and you don't. So I hope over the next 2.5 days that we can share with you that difference in belief, that transition in belief, because that's going to be the difference between you doing a deal and not doing a deal. That's going to be the difference between you being able to buy a piece of real estate without cash, without credit, without going to banks, and you not doing a deal. That's going to be the difference of you asking the questions to the seller instead of assuming they will say no and moving on that conversation. Because as Chris mentioned, these deals are way too valuable, especially when it comes from a revenue perspective, for you not to believe. We saw in here, everyone was typing in, they want to do W-2 job. I'm curious if we could type in the chat right now. You're in your W-2 job. Tell me what your goal is. Type in your goal. If it could be as simple as a deal-based goal, or it could be as simple as I want to leave my W-2 job, or it could be, I want to be able to travel. Whatever that goal is, tell me what that goal is. Type in the chat, and then I'll dive into this genius model.
Yeah, that'll also give us an idea of how to talk about some of these deals and potentials, Zach. Because those of you listening to, I said that I probably confused people. I'm talking about when we do deals later on, we're going to do some cool deals for you guys. There's different ways to structure these depending on where you are in your financial journey, right? All kinds of different ways.
Yeah, let's talk about alignment too, because it's very rare. I mean, you could really like doing deals, but it's very rare like that is your end goal, right? I know we're going to talk about deals because it's very related to your income, and your income then will get you to where you need to be. But it's very rare that somebody comes up to me and is like, I just want to do real estate because I just want to do real estate. It's typically tied to, I want to do real estate because I want to travel. I want more income for my family. I want more stability. I want more time freedom. I want to leave my W-2 job. So I'm curious about what these, so we got leave W-2 job by 2025. That's good. All right, we got specific dates attached to it. Leave W-2 job, quit W by end of year. Cheryl, let's make that happen.
Let me comment on that, Zach, if I could.
Go ahead.
There are some people you're going to hear from, coaches all did it, but there are many others that left their W-2 as a result of coming through the community. But it doesn't need to be vague for you. If you type that, you can be very, very specific, and we help you guys do that. Every single one of them had a plan for X amount of months, and we nailed it within 3 or 4 months in either direction, every single time. So there's some predictability there. When we had our boot camp, private in-office boot camp a couple of weeks ago, Zach and I and Nick, we broke out into groups, and we're gonna do this, some work on this with you guys, but not as in depth. And we showed them predictably how to go ahead and take the next path. And so when you see that update and you have dates, first good step done. Great job, Deborah. And then we'll start working on your plan together.
Awesome. Yeah, we have completely revamped the structure in order to get people to their deals more quickly. This is the one community that you're going to hear that we base upon our success around you doing deals. You'll hear things like time to first deal. We track how long it takes somebody to get their first deal from the time they start with us. And you'll always hear like average deals per associate or average revenue per deal. All of these are specifically driven because we know once a deal happens, that you're going to see success and you're going to get towards some of those end goals here as well. So throughout this next couple of days, you're going to hear things like associate. If you could just type in the chat if you are an associate, just say yes and what level you are. So associates are people that we lock arms with and we do deals with. So you're going to hear about this all the next couple of days. These are the people, the chosen few that really want to excel and do deals together. You're also going to hear things like Jumpstart, which is our short-term coaching program. We share with everybody the model and they go ahead and replicate it, and we get in the trenches with you there as well. So you're going to hear these things. So if you could just type in the chat. If you're not in our community, look at people's names that certainly say next to it, and we're gonna behind the scenes start making sure that everybody has that quote unquote label. But see all the people typing this chat. These are the people you're gonna want to direct message on the side and say like, what's going on? How are you accelerating your business? How are you doing these types of real estate deals? Because these are the ones that already have the belief. If you're an associate, you already believe, you've already bet on yourself, you already understand the business model, you know that this can get you to where you need to be. These are the people you're going to want to surround yourself with and talk with. And you're going to see people like High Six. Now, those are the highest level of commitment when it comes to our community. Definitely have the highest amount of deals in our community. So know that those people you want to certainly reach out to and ask those types of questions. Okay.
A quick comment too for these guys. If you have questions, obviously type them in the chat. We'll get to them. The coaches are going to watch that. If you're anyone else but a coach, let them answer.
Do the Q&A box if you guys have questions. That way we don't lose those questions. Type in the chat today when we're responding, we're communicating, we're asking those types of questions. But use the Q&A if a question pops up. That way one of us, our coaches, can go ahead and answer it. So if we could just briefly, can we just spotlight the coaches that are available with us here today? Because they're going to be chiming in, answering questions. If you could just click your hand raise, coaches. I just want people to see who we have for our team here. We got Rusty. Maybe you can introduce yourself while we're pulling everyone else up. And Rick, just quickly, 30 seconds who you are. That way people know how to reach out to you.
Not sure where to get started? Go to smartrealestatecoach.com/get going for free books, strategy calls, and a whole bunch more. We're going to help you get going the wicked smart way. We've been after this for over a decade doing exactly that.
Yeah, I'm Russell Ham here in Southern California, near San Diego. I've been in the community since 2019. I was a 90-day jumpstart with Zach. And I've done every single level, matter of fact. I think I'm the only one. Starter, immersion, High Six, now a chairman, and a coach. So that's my claim to fame, I guess.
I'm pretty sure Rick has two now.
That's right.
Rusty is going to run, if you guys end up joining our community, Rusty's going to run your first 90 plus days at Jumpstart. Go ahead, Rick.
Yep, I'm Rick Abbiati. I joined the community in about April, May 2021. Within actually 2 days short of being in the community for 2 years, I left my W-2 and I'm now coaching full time. And I have also been through all the levels.
Sorry.
I think you might be the only two. It's not, that wasn't intentional.
Okay, and then Mike McCready's isn't on with us just yet, I don't believe. He's also...
No, he's got a family, he had someone pass in his family. He'd be with us Thursday and Friday.
Yep, so we'll make sure that you guys get introduced to them. Also, we'll have a panel later on today, it's either today or tomorrow, with Russell and Rick on some of the new deals that they've crafted up. So
we should pull Nick up so everybody knows he's more focused on the buyer side. Nick came in with me in 2014 and started helping me with buyers. Part time, and now handles the community. So Nick.
Hi everyone. Yeah, it first started out with the marketing of all the properties that you were getting, and then that turned into, oh shoot, we need help with answering all these buyer inquiries. And then from there, the buyer process was developed that we have to put our buyers through to make sure they're successful when they get to the end and get their own loan. And now that's what we do and teach with all the associates in the community. So excited to get after it with everyone.
Yeah, so you'll be interacting with all these guys.
Love it. Awesome. So these are some amazing people that you're going to want to be in communication with throughout the rest of today. And then we also we have an amazing support staff that will be helping run this event throughout the rest of the next couple of days as well. Thank you, Russell.
Hey, you're welcome.
And Nick. Russell, Rick, and Nick. That's fun. This is fun. Awesome. So let's kind of circle back into the Genius model. So this is what we believe to be the key to our current business. So we're not gonna be able to cover everything throughout the rest of the next couple of days, but there are certain things that you will see us cover, right? So we believe that if we got the right mindset, which is a belief it's 80% of the entire business is going to be mindset. Chris covers that. We like to do a lot of mindset work, especially at the beginning of each one of these days, get everybody prepped and prepared. And of course, skill sets. We're going to cover a lot of that over the next couple of days with sellers and buyers, and even controlling your portfolio on the last day, a VIP day, and talking about wealth stacking. And then systems as well, which you'll hear throughout these days as well. system was lead gen, follow up, and finance and legal. So that way, once all of these, and this isn't a never ending process, we focus on the mindset, we up level that, and then we got to focus on the skill set, up level that, and then we focus on the systems in order to support that as we're going through our growth. So throughout these next couple days, we'll be covering components of those. And then if you end up spending more time with us, this is what we focus on day in and day out of this business.